Our heroes don't have their Gunpla this episode because this is neutral territory, and as Yuki explains, they don't have a high enough level for that. None of them thought to check the scale on the map. Not so easy when you don't have your smartphone, is it?
1センチが10キロで10センチ以上あるから100キロ以上あるじゃない。
This is something I've never seen Gundam do before, and I never realized I wanted to see that joke done in an anime. Things are looking bad, but thankfully random ninja character shows up and gives them a ride. Lesson learned. It's okay to take rides from strangers.
ありがとうございます。あやめ。
Well, I guess she's not a stranger now. And to be fair, Japan doesn't have the same stranger danger stigma as America. Children younger than Riku actually walk to school without adult supervision, and they're fine.
言っとくけど、この砂漠地帯はガンプラに乗っても横断が難しいの。防砂仕様に仕上げておかないと。 Thank
you for the foreshadowing! Now it's off to Perisia! This is a place where builders can exchange ideas, show off their creations, and full disclosure, I am not very good at building Gunpla. I can do a basic build pretty easily, but there's no way I could do something like this. Not nearly as amazing as a video game that's perfected a virtual sense of taste! And possibly smell, now that I think about it. Ew. The point is, why is this game not the most popular game ever? Why aren't there people lined up outside? Who cares what the price is? I just want to go to a video game where I can eat whatever I want and don't have to worry about counting calories! Ayume's wandered off because she's supposed to be on a secret reconnaissance mission, but for now our heroes are walking around Perisia, looking at all the amazing Gunpla, and then they notice that, hey, this is one of those old RX kits that's not really good by today's standards. Those pink things on the back are beam sabers. I didn't know this was a thing. I actually researched this Gunpla, so I got to learn something new about the franchise. That's always fun. The point of this is that the builder has managed to take this old model kit and show its full potential while still remaining true to the original aesthetics. Naturally, our heroes want to know if this mysterious stranger can look at their Gunpla.
その理想を形にする制作技術が足りていない。少し背伸びをしすぎかな。
As far as online criticism goes, I think they got off easy. Oh, and this Gunpla expert, all of his are the little mini bear act guys, because apparently those are popular. I don't get it. But he's managed to do a lot with these relatively simple Gunpla, which reinforces that theme of Gunpla is more than just building military death machines. Hey, let's check up on Maggie and Tiger.
今度はガンプラ作りが上手くなりたいってペルシアに行ったわ。ペルシア？まさか目的はシャゴリの野郎か？
Tiger just became a lot more relatable to people who like dogs. The Great Shuffleboard is this ultimate Gunpla artist, and his new art is kind of not good. But everyone in the crowd starts to reassure each other that, no, this is sophisticated. The Great Shampoo is this amazing artist, and we're all sophisticated too, right? We all appreciate the art. We all appreciate it. We're all in agreement, right?
なんかピンとこないな。リク？何
言い出すのよ。
As Riku criticizes the Gunpla, there's not a lot of confidence in his voice, but he doesn't sound nervous. Which makes sense, he just learned about this Gunpla building philosophy, and he's criticizing this ultimate Gunpla master.
ザムドラーグへの思いも、リスペクトも、あの人の言葉を借りるなら、愛が足りないんだ。
That is some well-articulated criticism. Just replace the word Zamdrag with whatever you want, and it would probably work. Naturally, Shopping Cart doesn't like this, and that's when Ayame shows up to point out. Ayame tells him they can prove it's genuine by having it move, so let's watch this eyesore stumble around town. Hooray for nonviolent resolution?
余計なことをしてくれたな。クレームが入ったぞ。
しかし彼らは監視対象に危害を加えようと。
どんな理由があれ、客は客だ。アフターケアをしっかりとな。
You might be thinking, oh cool, Laserbeak versus Zamdrag fight!
こんな場所で発信だなんて。リク、あれ。あれは、あやめさん。
Yes, Ayame's been captured and tied up in a way that emphasizes her predicament. And why are these guys doing this? Well, apparently their master plan was to impersonate the great Gunpla builder Champagne so that other builders would share their building secrets and techniques. Do they not have internet in this universe?
兄貴、あのガキども助けに来ると思いますか?
Ayame did more to prove that shovelware was a fraud, but no, this is all to get back at Riku.
来るわけないわ。そんな何の得にもならないこと。
This episode would have been so much easier to review if Ayame had ended up freeing herself. She's supposed to be a ninja, so why doesn't she have like little knives or something up her sleeves? And they didn't even tie up her arms. How difficult is it to just kind of move your arms, untie the rope, and get away? But no, she just stands there as the heroes have to defeat the villains. Oh, and they borrowed a gunpla from what's-his-name. The fight's okay, mostly missile spam for the beginning, and Yuki points out that little imperfections when you build a gunpla will translate to inaccuracies in the game, even though I don't think you actually have to put the missiles in the pods for a gunpla of that scale. And then we get a nice little callback to the beginning, where the Zamdrag has sand stuck in its joints. I remember back when giant laser cannons did more than just push the enemy away. Momo and Sarah untie Ayame, but we're not done yet because it turns out Shenanigans is a mass diver.
ああ、でも心配ね。このところペリシアにはマスダイバーが出没するって噂があるから。
Maybe that's supposed to be foreshadowing, but to me, Build Divers is putting spoilers in their own show. I don't know if the Zamdrag's transformation is supposed to be software manipulation, or if the Gunpla itself can actually transform. I know the stock Zamdrag can't do that, so I'd be very interested to see a Gunpla of this come out that can actually transform. Things are looking bad for our heroes, but thankfully the real Shafriara shows up, and we get...
自らのガンプラ製作技術を高めようとせず、データを改ざんして強くなろうとするその浅はかな考え、万死に値するセナビー
The epic hero speech. After some action with the base Gundam, we get this fun combination sequence. Now in the standard Cerevi, the backpack actually detaches and turns into a separate Gundam, so in its own way, this actually makes sense.
これこそがシャフリヤールのガンプラ、その真の姿。
よくわかんないけどかっこいい。
And that's probably going to be the most relatable line in the entire show. After Shafre defeats the villain, he invites Riku to join his force, but then even though Tiger already had his episode, he shows up and he's kind of being a little bit rude here, invites Riku to join his force. The two get into a kind of funny argument, brain versus brawn, but it's a moot point because Riku's gonna create his own force. He's at level 0. The first 2/3 of this episode were about our heroes taking time to just enjoy GBN and they learn some art appreciation. The scene where Riku actually stands up for, let's call it, artistic integrity is the best part of the episode. Unfortunately, I think they had to get their action quota, so the last third falls back on some admittedly cliche good versus evil, and then they have to bring in Tiger, mass divers, just to kind of prop up what could have been a perfectly serviceable, you don't have to have a giant robot battle in every episode. We already had Riku versus mass divers, a force leader in disguise, and then Riku went on his journey to learn from the master in the previous episode. It just seems a little bit repetitive, and it seems like Shafre didn't have room to have his own unique story. It's a bit of a letdown, and it's not what I would call in-depth analysis friendly, but if you're not taking it too seriously, you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. This is the Hypervisor signing off.